How you guys doing? I go by the name of Full Course or Richie, and welcome to episode 56 of FML Podcast.
And you still got the Rico Suave on.
Man, it's automatic, man. It's automatic.
How y'all doing? My name is Freddie.
My name is Lito.
This is the FML Podcast.
Episode 56.
Yes.
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick math.
That was super unnecessary.
I know. I just wanted to say it. It's fucking
Well, yeah,
great.
like I was saying, man.
Actually, it is necessary because right now we're 3 people in the studio and our guest is probably as big as the real Big Shaq.
That's crazy you say that because he's not nearly as big as Shaq.
No, I know.
What
He's
are you,
really not.
6'5"?
Yeah.
6'4"?
No.
6'3"?
I'm 6'3", 6'2" and a half,
Big dude,
6'3".
man.
You know, 3. I think I'm 315 right now.
315?
I believe so. I gotta check,
damn.
man. Yeah, you never know, man. Like the whole time I thought it was like 250, 280.
Mm-hmm.
And then, time, I weighed myself one time with these kids from school, and I was like, it kept going up, and I was like, oh shit, I put on some weight, man.
You don't have a scale at home?
No.
See, now I the past year, because my girl has one, so now I have a scale at home, and I do weigh myself sometimes to see if I gained too much or lost any. But I'm still skinny fat.
Yes.
I mean, with me, it's really about how I feel. You know, when I start feeling sluggish, then I'm like, all right, let me do some cardio. Let me cut out some of this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did something this morning. What'd you do, huh?
Me?
Yeah, agreeing with me saying I'm skinny fat and
ate.
shit.
You wait?
I
That's
ate.
it? Nah, man.
You're not supposed to agree, nigga. You're supposed to cheer me up and tell me.
You skinny fat.
I had my nice kale and spinach juice this morning, and then I hit the gym, you know.
Kale and spinach juice.
Kale, spinach, pineapple, and mango. Yeah.
But that's dope.
But then I had some Domino's afterwards.
There you go.
know?
There you go. There you go.
We have to balance it out, you know.
Wait, you just mentioned to us that you're about. Well, you're what's the word?
Physionomiste.
He's a physionomiste.
What we say in English?
That sounds-
Physionomist?
I don't even think there's an English word for it, to be honest with you.
Define what that is.
It's the person at the door. It's really a European term. It's like the person at the door of a club who you have your bouncers, you have your front line, and then you have the guy who does the reservations, guest lists. He filters the clientele, etc. He knows the regulars. So that's my job. I used to be a doorman, but I'm not even like security anymore. So, but we have like a whole security detail. You know?
So you're like head of everything at the door.
I don't like to give titles or anything like that. I wouldn't say I'm head of anything, but yeah, I'm one of
you
the
run
front
shit.
line guys. No,
What's going on is Richie don't want nobody who works with listening to this and be like, oh, come into work and like, oh, so you run me now.
No. Like our security team is, you know, it's the detail. You know, we got the head of security and whatnot. And at the doors there's me, and then my boy Squeeze, who handles the reservations.
You're also known as a rapper.
Yes, Full Course. That's his name.
Full Course, or you could just call him Richie, like the bar says in Story of My Life.
100%.
So today, doing research.
That was my favorite song for a minute.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, for sure, man. You guys are in the video. You're looking young in the video, man.
Actually, as a matter of fact, doing research today because I had never seen the video.
Oh, no way.
Me personally, and I'm watching this video. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this video.
Oh, you're in the video too?
Yes.
Oh, was it three?
It was all three of us.
Me, him, and Satiz, as well as his young son that's now so much bigger now. Looking at him in the video, I'm like, yo, he was so much younger.
That was 2010 or 11?
Yeah, 7 years
right?
ago.
10.
Yeah, man.
7 years ago. You're also known as a video producer. You do video as well.
One half of Lab Noise. Shout out to Conquistador.
Yes.
Rob.
With whom I know as well. And as a matter of fact, he stepped in here and, you know, gave us a little pointers on, you know, how to position stuff and shit like that. Because that's just what he does. But
well, I still do. Like, I was editing a video today. Like, that's the passion. You know what I mean? And even the music, I still do the music. Like, I'm hard on it. You know what I mean? I do a lot of stuff that I go back and I don't like, so I don't put it out. But it's when you're a creative, you're always going to be a creative.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, and also a critic of your own
100%.
art.
When you're your own worst critic, you know.
Yeah. That's crazy. But right now you say that you are a physionomiste.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Do you? Because in Montreal, rap doesn't pay the bills. I mean, if you're bouncer, I mean, a physionomist might be another, pay scale from a bouncer or a doorman. But do you have any other daytime hustle that you?
Yeah, so I still do videos, like I said.
Okay.
So Lab Noise, we used to do a lot of music videos and whatnot. We still do a lot of independent contracts. We film events. I mean, if it could be filmed and I'm available, I'll film it.
Okay.
We filmed weddings, funerals, documentary, the Hidden Colors documentary. Did you ever see Hidden Colors?
What is that?
It's a documentary on the unwritten history of blacks before slavery and Moors, etc.
In Canada?
International.
It's
a U.S. production, but we actually did the work.
Word.
Me and Rob, yeah.
Okay.
We did the work on the first one, and then we turned down the job after just because it was so much work, and it was literally just me and him doing it. You know what I mean? Like, we took it for granted when we accepted the contract because we were just excited to work with the producer because we were a fan of his work.
Okay.
So we took it on. He flew me down to the States. We did interviews with a lot of like historians and
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, dude, the joint blew up.
Yeah,
it blew up.
When he said Hidden Colors, it lit a bulb, but I can't quite point it out.
It resonated, I can't remember. I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, no, dude, the joint blew up, man, and like it helped a lot of people wake. Like woke. When you see a lot of people talking about woke and all of this stuff now, a lot of it comes from I don't want to say it just came from that, but like it really put it on a platform.
Inspiration.
Yeah, because he did, man. Like when he called me up to do the second volume, and I turned him down. Man, like the fifth Beatle who just quit before the Beatles took off. Yo, when I tell you the next episode or the next, because there was 4, right? And we did the first one. So we literally did the blueprint. Man, when I tell you now he got Nas is in it, David Banner's in it.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
All types of people are in it. And I'm like, Karis One was in it.
And now you're like, shit, I should have kept on with this,
right?
we
let that go. But, I honestly, like, it's hard. It was hard work. Like I said, it was 2 of us that were in charge of like the editing of a feature-length documentary. And it's Black history, so a lot of the images, a lot of the stuff that they were talking about, you had to dig to find it. Mansa Musa, you want to find his image, you got to scour. It's not like
so. It's pre-slavery.
Yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
Like
so it's even harder.
Yeah, man. And a lot of it is unwritten. You know what I mean? So but it blew up, man. So yeah, it was dope. It was really dope.
What exactly, like, what led you to why exactly didn't you said you didn't take the second volume or the third or the fourth? Why was that?
Work.
It was like I said, we saw we could do it in a month, right? So when we agreed to it, we agreed to the final the financial compensation for it. We're like, cool, let's do it. It'll get our foot in the door, blah blah blah. We thought it would take us a month. It took us 3 months. And I mean, like 3 months nonstop. Like, Conquistador had a day job. So I'd be at, like, literally, like, we used to live together. We had an upper duplex together. Yeah. And we had 2 Macs in the office. And, like, both of them would be running. Just, like, layering the image with the audio, syncing it, exporting it.
That shit's heavy, huh?
Dude, like, and then chopping up, the different sequences. And then Conquistador would get in like from work till 5 p.m. and then he would do like, the transitions, the coloring, the images, the slides, the stat, da-da-da. He'd go to midnight, go home. He was working like 2 jobs for like 3 months, basically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it messed me up, man. It messed both of us up. And then it was the same time, Bad News Brown passed. You know what I mean? So it was like, you couldn't even really stop. Yeah, rest in peace to Paul, man. Like, but we couldn't even really stop to mourn this dude because we're, this dude
working on the heavy project.
What's going on in Montreal. We got a deadline to meet, and It was draining. It was draining.
Is that what, like, because there was a time when, like you were saying it earlier, I can't remember if this was on tape or not, where you were saying you were a lot more involved in, I guess, the hip hop scene. It was not, there was a time when you kind of like, I don't want to say shied away, but you kind of stepped away from it. Was that it? Was that the moment?
No, I mean, the moment we shied away was, when responsibilities really start kicking in, and like a lot of the stuff we were doing, we were fans of, you know what I mean? So a lot of videos that we were doing for guys, we were charging like, I don't want to say nothing, but we weren't charging anything crazy.
Yeah.
Like each episode to step your bar game up, we were charging $200, right? And
nice.
dudes were still arguing about that. And when you break it down with the equipment and then the gas and me and him and the hours and the color, bro, we were getting less than minimum wage, if anything. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you got to pay your bills. So, if you're, like you said, if something else is paying, life is life, man. Conquistador has a wife, a daughter, a house, like we're grown men. We have responsibilities,
sure.
So as much as we love it, and I love it, if it's not making you eat, like,
So what are the other hustles or maybe
the other hustles? Well, my main hustles right now, I'm a substitute teacher for the Lester B. Pearson School Board.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I'm at Subwa 3 nights a week, and then depending on if we have special events, whatnot. And then videos all throughout here and there and
What
whatnot.
was that like as a teacher? And how old are they? Or what
It's
grade?
a high school, so I'm mostly at Burling
shit.
Academy in Verdun, like Verdun, LaSalle area,
Mhm.
and I love the high school kids. You know what I mean? I like the kids who are like a bit rough around the edge. Just
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? It's not hard for me because I'm a sub and I know them because I'm there often enough, but I'm not there every day. You know what I mean? So I'm not like a teacher who has to deal with this day in
Every
and day
day.
out. Like
When you're there, it's like
it's cool. One kid literally said, "You know what you're like, Mr. Richie? You're like the uncle in the school." You know what I mean?
Say it's recess
you come
when you
in
show
and
up.
it's cool, and then you're gone, and then you're back. And I'm like, but you know what? That's the role I like. Uncle Richie's cool. You know what I mean? No kids of my own. Always been an uncle. I like that. You know what I mean? So,
Well, since you're a physionomist,
right.
Physionomist?
Physionomiste.
Yeah, since you're a physionomist,
You got to put the E on it. Right?
for one of our finest establishments in the
Shout
city.
out, yes, super, man. Crazy place.
What's it like to hold the keys to basically filtering the bad apples that are trying to come to the club?
Or me.
Oh man, we should start with you, man. You know how many times he's been at the door? He always gets in. He's never the issue. Okay. But whenever he comes to the door, what do I always say to you?
Yo, who you with? Hey, you know what's funny? They initiate it. So we're like, yo, you want to go to Suba? All right, let's go. And then I can go in because I'm just home chilling.
I never been. Is that the place we
Yeah,
went
you
on
were
your
supposed
birthday?
to go. That time went for Sati. No, that time was Sati's birthday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We did my birthday with that one.
Was your
After-
birthday at Suba?
Yeah. Like,
Well, at the
beginnings.
end of the night. Okay.
No, it wasn't it was Edward's birthday. So I don't know
No,
if you were
just a few weeks ago, man. We went to dinner.
That was Sati's.
on
there.
Notre
No,
Dame.
that was somewhere. That wasn't Suba.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
No, Sati's birthday was Suba.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
heard
gonna
that
talk
we-
about
I
that.
missed
No,
it
we
'cause I
could
was
because
babysitting.
I still I'm not even sure what happened.
This is what happened. And
Okay,
I
go
spoke
ahead.
about it, right?
Go ahead,
The,
yes.
the week after. So we get there. Everything's all good. Actually, we got there late, around 10:30. I think kitchen closes at.
Kitchen closes at 11. You didn't have oh yeah,
I didn't
saw
have
you-
a reservation,
I saw
so
you when
everything
I
was
walked
great
in.
till
Oh,
that
yeah,
point.
it's a dinner lounge.
Yeah.
It's a supper club. Yeah.
So we get there and they were great. They actually told me because the other guys weren't there. I was there first, and they told me, "Do you mind waiting?" I was like, "No." It's like, "We'll find you a table." So they sat us around. As soon as the guys got there, we sat down.
right.
Everything was great. So we ordered. The girl was great. Drinks was great. Everything's all good. So we order and then we get some bread. So we're waiting. More bread. We're waiting. More bread. We're waiting. So after like almost an hour and 15 minutes, we
It was
asked
really
the
that
chick-
long?
Yeah, it was that long.
Right.
We asked the chick, "Yo, what's going on?" And she's like, "I'll check." And she goes and comes back. She's like, "It's not ready yet, but it's coming soon." So at that point, we're like, "Yo."
But the order was placed.
Yeah, the order was placed.
Okay.
So it was an hour and 15 minutes. And then when the guy came, this was it for us. The guy came, the manager came and he was like, "What's going on?" We tell him, he's like, "Okay, let me go check." Comes back, he's like, "It's coming soon." We're like, "Yo, we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes." Like
What time was it at this point? I was like,
it was probably midnight or or close to 1 because we were there for an hour and 30 minutes, and we got 12:30.
No, it couldn't have been 12:30. That's impossible.
Because we got there, we started.
You got there.
We ordered at
10:30. You said
no, because I got there.
no. You got
10:45. We ordered about.
Okay. So that's partially on you because the kitchen does close
Okay,
at 11
but, no,
o'clock.
but honestly, at that point, I'm not mad.
It should have been.
He should have
He's
ordered.
defending establishment.
No, I don't.
Bro.
I'm not. That's
Physionomiste.
because he was upset too. He was upset too.
No, because these are my dudes, and I saw them walking out earlier.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, what happened?
I'm just like, yo, if we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes and we're not satisfied with the service, at least offer us, half off. At least offer us the full meal, or at this point half off. This guy was just like, okay. So are you gonna pay? I was like, nigga, you serious? And even the girl was the waitress was like, is he not gonna offer you the meal? Oh, that's what you're supposed to offer the meal at that point.
But at the same time, I don't know what went wrong because there have been times.
He didn't give me any explanation at all.
There have been times where yes, something happened in the kitchen or whatever.
Yeah,
and people were compensated accordingly to the situation. But like I said, I can't. It's hard.
I've never had any other problems at that place. That was.
It's hard for me to speak on. Like, and I even went down to find out what's going on.
He did. He did.
It's
outside of that club. Do you work at any other clubs?
Now, no. If somebody has something going on and they want me there, and because I still do security for like private events, like one-off joints, like. If somebody is doing like a pop-up or an after party or something, but a lot of that I phased out. Yeah, because that's what I was doing for years.
Because like I told you, I think I said it to you before. At this point, you're not going back because
the
type of
Physionomiste.
Not even, and it's not even just the type of establishment. It's me. Like before I started working there, I was at Blue Dog for 7 years up on Cellar Road, which is a cool local, bar or whatnot. But even then, like at the end, like my last years there, like I remember there were days where I was at the door and like my head just started getting heavy, just meaning I was getting tired. I'm not tired because I'm fatigued, just tired because I'm bored. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so once that starts happening, I know it's time for a change. You know what I mean? So I was literally like, I was done. I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with the nightlife. I think I'm done with this. It just so happened that the Super Bowl opportunity came up at the same exact time.
Yeah.
As I told myself I'm done, and I was like, you know what? I've never dealt with the high end supper club crowd. I was like, let's try it. If it doesn't work, try it. It doesn't work, and if it works,
Richie
cool.
told me the ladies are different. It's another level out there.
Listen, everything is another level out there, man. Like the crowd, the ladies for sure. The crew,
Speaking of the crew, because earlier you said you used to be a doorman, you're not that anymore.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you started off as a bouncer.
Right.
What's the difference between a doorman and a bouncer?
And a what?
And a physionomiste.
Okay, a doorman and a bouncer. That's a bit of a gray zone. Like, I guess a doorman is between a bouncer and a physionomiste.
Okay.
Because he can still bounce you out, and he's still security, and he's still scanning the people that come in and whatnot. Bouncers are literally like almost like the enforcers on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like walking around making sure nothing goes wrong.
Nobody's smoking weed in the club.
No one's doing anything stupid in the club. You know what I mean? Those are those guys that make sure you are having a good time. You're enjoying. You're spending your money. Not that you're spending it wisely, but you're enjoying your investment. Because you come out, you spend, $50 to a couple of $100 a night. You're invested in that night, so you want to enjoy that.
True.
So bouncers make sure you're enjoying yourself. You know what I mean?
But you know what? The problem. Well, it's not a problem. I just found it like, what do you guys determine? Like, let's say the club is full, right? Some people are getting in regardless. There's that clientele, and sometimes I've been with that clientele that's getting in regardless.
There's always that little gray zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or black zone.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way.
Black
Like, we respect our capacity. We have to.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you by
Because
law.
if you lose your
license.
That's it. You don't ever want to jeopardize that. Now, if you are going to go over capacity,
It has to be worth
It
it.
has to be somebody that's worth it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It has to be somebody that
That's when they
you
tell
can't
us
say
no.
to, and
at
that
the
you
door.
don't
That's
want
not
to
true.
say no to.
That's not true, man. Because he's. I guess you're saying us as in black guys.
No,
That's not
no,
true
race
anymore,
has-
Certain black guys.
It's not true anymore.
If you're not,
What do you
if
mean
you
by
if you're
certain
not,
black guys?
meaning if you're not part of the known clientele,
No.
or you have a certain allure,
No,
you're not gonna come in.
I disagree.
I'll vouch for Subar. If you don't have a reservation, if you have a reservation, red, white, black, green, purple, you're
100%.
in. If you're a big spender, you're in.
Even that. Now, this
Yeah.
is the reason why I actually took the job at Subois was
Okay.
the owner, Alex Brosa, when I met with him, and I was like, I still have my reservations because I'm like, I know that crowd. You know, once a lot of those people spend money, they feel like they could do whatever, and I'm not good with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care who you are. Like, be respectful. Like,
I mean,
you know.
When
And the key thing he said to me, he was like, "Not all money is good money." So we've literally turned away big tables just because we don't want the problems that are going to come with that.
But what I meant was more like, obviously, if you're a big spender and you're not going to be a troublemaker,
Right.
you're most likely getting in.
100%.
You know
If you're, especially if you're one of our regulars, we
Yeah.
always take care of our regulars because our regulars are there when it's bumping and when it's quiet
not.
season. So you always take care of your regulars. And a lot of our regulars happen to also be the big middle tables. You know what I mean? So for sure, if one of them call and it's, you know, we might have to cancel another reservation. It sucks, but you know, like you have to, you know?
How do you tell the person you canceled?
Oh man, it depends. I don't know. It's tough. This weekend. Do your podcast come out like on time?
It comes out tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Because I didn't want to date the party and then this joint comes out in June, right? So we had our Halloween weekend this weekend, basically.
Okay.
And
for sure.
it was slammed. It was slam. And I had to cancel more than one reservation at the door. You know what I mean? And these are people that came out dressed up in their costumes, you know, and I feel you. Like I'm looking at them and I'm like,
but do they get in even if the reservation's dead? You won't get your table.
No, because if I have to cancel your reservation, it's not about your table, it's about our capacity.
Oh,
because we're a supper club, right?
Yeah.
So if dinner's sold out, and let's say that's 200 people, let's say half of them are going to stay for bottle service. The other half are going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from that other half, let's say you guys had a group of 15 only for dinner. Dinner's done at 11:30.
Yeah.
We transition our tables at that time. You guys decide, you know what, I'm having a good time here. Let's go to the bar. We can't kick you out, nor are we going to kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
But your 15 that's staying that wasn't supposed to stay
Going to the bar.
Is
messes
reducing
up
the
our
capacity.
Mm.
So the people who reserved your table, they're stuck outside. The table might be empty, but we're at capacity.
Oh,
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's explaining this to people and also like understanding their frustrations, not taking it personally, but still dealing with their
That's
frustrations.
tough.
Like, this week I almost
they could turn me down.
because people were. I had people screaming at me this weekend because they couldn't get in.
That's when the 315 pounds come into play.
Nah, because you still have to be cool. You know what I mean? Like, because just because you don't get in today doesn't mean you're not gonna, you know. And you're
but
and
the
at
client
same time,
doesn't care really to come next week to try.
But at the same time, I also acknowledge that you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's our fault,
Mhm.
but there's nothing I can do right now,
Damn.
and it's out of my hands.
And right now is when I'm trying to party, not next week.
Yeah, and you're in your costume. You might have booked it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's tough. It does get tough at times.
Do you feel that the Montreal night scene has changed over the years? Because you said that you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, I've been doing it I started as a flyer boy for Sona After Hours.
Oh shit, you've been doing it for a minute.
For a minute. And then
Sona
I just-
After Hours?
Yeah.
When was that? What year?
Way back when. Like,
Sona, I was at...
late
I'm trying to see
90s?
if it's before I
yeah,
started
late
clubbing.
90s, early 2000s.
Damn, it's before I started clubbing.
Yeah. Sona, I think we shut in 2003 or 2004. One of those two. But Sona
You want St. Catharines passing flies in front of the
100%.
theater?
Not even St. Catherine, up on Saint Laurent.
Okay,
in front of
So you had experience
Only
when it
like
was-
they targeted the spots of the clientele that are close. So it was Times Supper Club, couple spots on Saint Laurent, Buena, different locations, man.
So you had experience when it was time to pass flyers for your own rap stuff.
Oh man, listen, if I could do that for you, you know what I mean? Then I could definitely do that for me. You know what I mean? Like, for sure.
So Sous-Bois, as we've been talking about it for the past 10 minutes, it's like one of the best clubs of the city. But what would you say makes or breaks a club?
I mean, like I just said before, your regular clientele.
Mm-hmm.
That's really like your core. Because even when I worked at Blue Dog, like we would have Saturday nights where it would be dead. But then at 1:30, all of the regulars would come by. We knew they would all come by because that was the spot that people would go to before going to the after party.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their core regulars that'll drop by on a Monday night for a couple of drinks and, you know, whatnot. So even with Sous-Bois, like, yes, we do get a lot of like one-off tables, meaning, you know, some big guys are from out of town, they want to come in for the weekend. But really, it's like it's your core clientele that make or break you.
And why would you say then that Montreal clubs, like, they usually have such a short lifespan? What would be the biggest factor in that?
Management, man. Also, management of your club. Like, you have to know how to run the joint.
Filtering, maybe.
Not even just the filtering. I mean, like, all the stuff all the intangibles you wouldn't think of. Like, we have, I said 5 owners, but they put all of the right people in the right positions. They don't micromanage. You know what I mean? They put you in your position because this is what you do. They put you in your position because this is what you do. And okay, now you guys got to work together because you guys are both the best at what you do. You know what I mean? They put the right people in the right position.
Because to me, most of the times, whenever clubs don't, well, for example, Musique is a great example. Musique's been there for years,
right?
And they've been.
I'm surprised they haven't shut that shit down yet. I'm surprised.
Obviously,
man.
Someone somewhere has power.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I mean, I don't know all of the legalities, but it's hard for you to get a liquor license.
Yeah.
So it's also hard for you to lose it. You really have to have like crazy infractions.
But they've tried with the neighborhood, people in the neighborhood complaining. They've tried with drugs in the club.
Right.
They tried with gangs in the club.
Right.
They tried with full capacity.
Right. But then they're probably making enough money where they can hire good lawyers.
Good lawyers, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
or the owner has his pull. Possibly he could know some people in the mayoral office.
Good money.
Hey, it could
because it'll come down to the law. Like, the mayor has nothing to do with it. The mayor could try to impose different, you know, obstructions against you, but at the end of the day, it's still law. You know what I mean? The places that did shut down eventually, some of it wasn't because they were forced to shut down. Some of it they just couldn't afford to stay in operations.
And pay the lawyers.
And pay, yeah. Like, when I was like, man, when they started with the noise complaints in the plateau, and the cops would literally like have like the noise meters or claim to have the noise meters, some of these spots got hit with like $1,500 tickets on multiple occasions. You know what I mean? So if you get like 3-4 tickets in 1 month, that's what, $6,000 on top of your expenses and everything else. And these are like small plateau joints. I don't think they're making money like that.
I get it.
So, you know, that's one way to shut them down, give them infractions that they can't afford to pay. You know, but if you're dealing with guys who can afford to pay and they're making money, this fight's going to be tougher.
And it sucks because it's a great party town. Honestly, from all the places I've been, only New York, to be honest, New York matches up with